Hi friends, this is Engineer Imran Aziz. Welcome to my YouTube channel CivTech Simplified. We are again with you with another topic within building construction technology. Today in this video we will be discussing masonry constructions, and these are 25 multiple choice questions for your next exam. All the correct answers will be highlighted so that you could review them effectively. And these videos are mainly to support the civil engineers like you to prepare for your competitive exams, interviews, and university tests. So let's get started with today's topic. We are discussing part two under this topic. So question number 26 would be number one. In English garden wall bond, options available with us are A. One course of headers to 3 or 5 courses of stretchers are used. B. Queen closure is provided in each heading course. C. The middle course of stretchers is started with a header to give proper vertical joints. All of the above. So all these are the parameters which should be taken in mind and should be considered while English bond and preparing the garden walls. So option D, which is all of the above, is correct for this question. Moving to question number 27. The line of intersection of surfaces of a sloping roof forming an external angle exceeding 180 degree is line of intersection of surfaces of a sloping roof forming an external angle of exceeding 180 degree is number A, ridge, B, valley, C, hip, none of the above. So the joint or the line which is made at the intersection of the sloping roof and which creates the angle more than 180 degree is called hip. So option C is correct for this question. Then we have question 28. In English garden wall bond, A. One course of headers to 3 or 5 courses of stretcher. Yes, we already discussed in previous questions. B. King closure is provided in each heading course. C. Lowest course of stretcher is started with a header to give proper vertical joints. D. Having one course of header in middle. So all options are wrong except option A, which is one course of header to 3 or 5 courses of stretchers. So option A is correct for this question. Then we have question number 29. The piece of a brick cut with its one corner equivalent to half the length and half the width of a full brick is known as the piece of a brick cut with its one corner equivalent to the length and half the length and half the width of a full brick is known as number A, beveled closure, king closure, queen closure, or half king closure. It's called king closure. So option D is correct for this question. Question number 30. The brick laid with its breadth parallel to the face of the wall. When course is laid and its width or breadth is parallel to the face of the wall, then that course is called number A, stretcher course, B, header course, C, closer, none of these. So once the breadth or width is facing toward us, it's a header course. Option B is correct for this question. The formwork from the underside of slabs can be removed only after. This is an important question regarding our daily field routine as well as exam point of view. So how long the formwork should remain for the underside of the slab minimum. It should be 1 day, 4 days, 7 days, or 14 days. So it should be at least 7 days. Uh, so option C is correct for this question. 32. The depth of an arch is the distance between. So what is the depth of an arch? It's the distance between number A option is crown and springing line, B ground level and springing line, C crown and ground line, D intrados and extrados. So remember always the depth of an arch is the distance between intradots as well as extradots. So option D is correct for this question. Question number 33. When we provide expansion joints in masonry, expansion joints in masonry walls are provided if the length exceeds A. Length of the wall exceeds 10 meter, B. 20 meter, C. 30 meter, D. 40 meter. So option D is correct, which is 40 meter. So normally in masonry wall, the expansion joint is provided always at least at 40 meter. 34. The inclined surface on an abutment to receive the arch is known as. The inclined surface of an abutment to receive the arch is known as A. Soffit, B. Spandrel, C. Skewback, Hatch. So it's skew back. So option C is correct for this question. The surface which is inclined and arch is placed on that, it is called skew back. Option C is correct answer. Question 35. For brick construction, lime sand mortar is, so normally you have seen the ratio of the mortar or plaster. So what is it means basically? The question is for a brick construction, the lime sand mortar is A 1:1, 1:3, 1:4, 1:2. So lime sand mortar means one. The first one is lime, quantity of lime, and the second is the quantity of sand. So option D is correct, which is 1:2. So one part of the lime and two parts of the sand should be mixed to make the mortar for brick construction. An arc constructed with finely dressed stone is known as. So you must have seen the stone masonry arch in which well-dressed or finely dressed stones are used. It used to be in the old Mughal era as well. You must have seen several structures with such type of beautiful construction. So option available with us was A. Ashlar arch, gauged arch, rubble arch, axed arch. So it's an ashlar masonry. So ashlar arch is the answer. A is correct for this question. Question 37. The type of ashlar masonry in which stones are finely chiseled or dressed and thickness of joints does not exceed 3 mm. So two things they have mentioned. One is stones are dressed and chiseled, and the second is the joint thickness should not increase 3 mm. So what that masonry, ashlar masonry is called? Number A, coursed ashlar masonry, random coursed ashlar masonry, ashlar facing masonry, or chamfered ashlar masonry. So in which 3 mm joint is maintained and stones are well dressed. So it's coarse ashlar masonry. Option A is correct for this question. Then we have question number 38. Herringbone bond is used for number A, architectural finish to the face work, B, ornamental panels in the brick flooring, C, walls having thickness more than 4 bricks, all of the above. So all these options are correct. Herringbone bond is used for the ornamental works, for the facing works, and wall where the 4 brick thickness is used. So option D is correct for this question. Then we have question 39. The alignment of a cross joint along the plumb line is the alignment of a cross joint along the plumb line is number A lintel, B bed block, C vertical line, number D perpend. So it's perpend because it is cross joint along the plumb line. Plumb line is vertically straight, so it's a cross line, so it will be perpendicular to the plumb line. So option D is correct for this question. Question 40. Which one of the following piles has a cast iron shoe even after removal of the hollow cylindrical steel casing? So which type of the pile has cast iron shoe even after removal of the hollow cylindrical steel casing? A. Simplex pile. B. Pedestal pile. C. Vibro pile. Option D. Both A and B of the above. So option both A and B are correct. So option D is the correct answer. Question 41. To construct a 10 centimeter thick partition wall, you will prefer. So which type of course or bond will be preferred? Number A, for 10 centimeter thick wall. 1 mm, sorry, header bond, Flemish bond, C stretcher bond, E English bond. So option C is correct, which is stretcher bond. So remember always 10 centimeter thick partition wall is constructed using stretcher bond. It is preferred bond for such type of thickness. Question 42. For plastering the exposed brick wall, the cement sand mortar should be the wall which is exposed to the environment or the outer facing of any wall. So which type of cement sand ratio should be used? Number A 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, 1:6. So remember it's always 1:4. Even for internal you can even use 1:6, but for external it should be 1:4. Question 43. An arc may fail due to. So these are the reasons why arc failed. Number A, sliding of washers, the uneven settlement of abutments, crushing of the material. So all these are the failures of the arc. So option B, which is all of the above, and that is the correct answer. 44. The washers placed at crown of an arc is known as A. Soffit, Springer, Hatch, or key. So that is the main stone you must have observed. It is always in the middle of the arc, and the whole arc is basically tied up with that main stone. So that stone is just a key to the arch. So option, and if we remove that only 1 or 2 stones, so the whole arch will be failed or shattered down. So it's a key. Option D is correct for this question. Then we have question 45. The local swelling of a finished plaster is termed as. You must have observed in the plastering normally the fresh plaster also swells. So that swelling is called number A dubbing, B hacking, blistering, or cracking. So that is called blistering. Option C is correct for this question. Question 46. The type of pointing in which upper side of the mortar joints is kept about 12 mm, inside the face of the masonry and bottom is kept flushed with face of the wall is called number A, strut pointing, B, truck pointing, C, grooved pointing, D, recessed pointing. So such type of pointing is called strut pointing, in which upper side of the mortar joint is kept about 12 mm inside the face of the masonry and bottom is kept flush with the face of the wall. So such type of pointing is called strut pointing. Option A is correct for this question. Then we have question 47. The nominal thickness of an expansion joint in brick walls is kept more than. So how much thickness is kept for the expansion joint in a brick wall? Number A, 5 mm, 15 mm, 10 mm or 20 mm. So it's normally 20 mm at least. The thickness of the expansion joint in brick masonry wall should is kept more than 25 mm. 20 mm. Option D is correct for this question. Question 48. The nominal thickness of one brick wall is in mm is nominal thickness of one brick wall in millimeter is A, 200 millimeter, B, 190 millimeter, C, 120 millimeter, D, 90 millimeter. So remember the nominal thickness of one brick wall is always 200 mm. Option A is correct for this question. Then we have question 49. Dash are used to press mortar and spread it uniformly. So it's a tool being used by the masons to spread the mortar on the wall. So option A is brush, B aluminium rod, C trowel, D floats. So it's a float. Option D is correct. Question 50. In a lime cement mortar or plaster, in a lime cement plaster, ratio 1 is to 6 corresponds to option A cement gravel, cement lime, sand gravel, lime sand. So as it is lime cement plaster, the ratio 1 is to 6 corresponds to lime is to sand. So one part of lime is mixed with 6 part of the sand and then the plastering is done. It's called lime cement plastering. So thank you very much for being with us on this part 2. It was masonry construction within building construction technology. And our videos are preferred for professional engineers and people preparing themselves for the competitive exams like PPSC, FPSC, SSC, JE, RRB, KPPSC, etc. So I request you to subscribe to CivTech Simplified for upcoming videos and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, as well as TikTok. So thank you very much and see you in the next video. Bye.